Welcome to Brave Healer Productions. We are waking the world up to what's possible for healing, one brave word at a time. Welcome, everyone. I'm Laura DeFranco, the CEO of Brave Healer Productions, where we have a mission to wake the world up to what's possible for healing, one brave word at a time. And here today to help me with that mission are two of the amazing authors of a new book that we have coming out. This one is called Hot Mess to Hot Mom, Transformational Tools for Thriving After Childbirth and Beyond. Oh, this book, you guys, this topic is one of my favorites. Before I introduce these amazing women to you, I'm going to say a huge thank you to Tara De Leon. Tara is our lead author for Hot Mess to Hot Mom. And Tara, you had a huge mission to bring these experts together to really help new moms at all of the stages after childbirth and beyond childbirth. And man, I keep saying it, but this is the book I wish I had had back when, right? And all of the things that we didn't know. And I'm so excited and grateful to be here with you ladies, with Tara, and this big vision that she had. So huge thank you to you, Tara. We would not be here without you. And without further ado, I have Beth Conlon with me. She's the owner of From the Start Nutrition, where they provide compassionate, evidence-based nutrition counseling to help you or your loved ones without harmful dieting practices. We can't wait to talk to you, Beth. Tamika Robertson is here. She's the founder and CEO of A Giants Preschool and A Giants Early Learning Center. These are in Edgewater, Maryland. Welcome to both of you. I cannot wait to get started. Tamika, you're going to start the party off today. Tell us about your amazing chapter.
Hi, everybody. My name is Tamika, and I wrote chapter 11, Cultivating a Village, the support parents want, but children need. I am a childcare business owner, and my chapter is about building the village that you need. It is very important that um, parents have a village surrounding them, but mostly for the children. It's not always where parents can get away from work, where they can, do all the things that the matriarchs of our family are required to do, all the cleaning, all the organization, all of the keeping everybody's schedule together. So, building a village around themselves and their family is going to be the way that families can move forward in this busy day and time.
I love this topic so much, Tamika. I wished I had been more intensely, I don't know, coached here because
Mhm.
I think that some of us kind of grew up not even really realizing what that meant, but also just we had this idea in our head that success meant we could do it on our own.
Mhm.
And it's such the opposite of that. Like the way that you thrive, you said it. The way you guys do this is you build that community and that village. Can you tell us more about what that meant for you personally in your life?
So, personally, I was fortunate enough to have grandmothers with an S, plural. And they are still near and dear to my heart. I still have one living grandmother who is my almost everyday advisor. Um, but my mom built this village around us because my biological father passed away when I was one and my sister was two. So she had no choice but to build the village around her. And with that being said, just like you, I took for granted that that was even a village. But as I am an adult and I am a pillar in so many other families' village because I run childcare centers, I really started to pay attention to how important it is for people like me who run childcare centers, but also cleaners who come into the home and clean the home, and as well as nutritionists and everyone that surrounds the family that can advise on different things that parents really have no idea about. It is really imperative that they build this village around themselves. And unfortunately, in today's day and age, there aren't enough grandmothers to go around, right? And so in my chapter, I teach parents how to um, build that, cultivate that village with a budget in mind, even though budgeting is not my forte per se, but it is important that we keep the budget in mind because there are some big ticket items that they're going to have to decide if they need or want in their village in order to cultivate that village.
Yeah, you're hitting some great hot topics there in that chapter by pulling in those things. Again, things we need to know. Tamika, thank you for being here today.
Absolutely.
Beth, tell us about your chapter. Oh, let me get you unmuted, Beth. Let's
Yeah.
try that. There we go. Now I hear you.
Okay, great. Sure. So, hi, everyone. My name is Beth. Thank you for letting me share my chapter, A Nourishing Balance, Feel Good Feeding Baby and Fueling Your Body. So, being a registered dietitian, I thought feeding my newborn and taking care of myself, like getting back into shape, would be easy, but it wasn't. It turned out to be a lot tougher than I expected. I had a really difficult time breastfeeding, and I thought I knew what I was doing and that it would be easy, but it turns out my child was tongue-tied. And this was back in 2015 when it was just becoming more acceptable to check and treat tongue ties. I think that in 2024, there's a lot more awareness about it, which is great, although there's a lot more work to be done. So I had to pump, I was supplementing, and I had no time for self-care. I could barely shower, let alone drink enough water or eat balanced meals or exercise like I wanted to. So this chapter is close to my heart. And I also think an important message because postpartum nutrition, it's not just about what you eat or what you feed your baby, but it's really about having grace for yourself during this very special, but also challenging time in life. And knowing that you are doing the best for your baby and for yourself, and trying to have less stress about that. So
I resonate because I had a tough time breastfeeding as well, and it felt to me like such a failure. My body was like not doing what it was supposed to do, what everyone else around me could do, and even doctors were pushing me to do, right? What do you want new moms to know about that piece?
yeah, so really at the end of the day, and I'm saying this as both a mom of four and a registered dietitian, fed is best. We need our children to have enough nutrition and calories to be able to grow. So whether it is breastfeeding or pumping and expressing milk or formula or a combination of all of those, that's okay as long as your child is getting the nutrition that they need to grow. And breastfeeding or bottle feeding, you need to look at the big picture of the support that you have in your life. Like Tamika was saying, what is your village? Some people just don't have enough support for breastfeeding, and that's okay too. For some people, it's easy, and that's great. But there's a wide spectrum. So again, I think it comes back to having grace for yourself and really just trusting yourself that you're doing what's best.
I love that advice. It's good advice all around. Beth, I'm going to stick with you for this next question. I'll come around to you, Tamika, as well with, but I've said this so many times. I love all the topics in this book. I wish I had this book 24 years ago when my son was born. And like all of the book titles around here that we publish, the tools in this book are holistic, natural, and effective. Beth, why is holistic important to you?
Holistic's important because it's one factor rarely determines the outcome of things. So there are many different factors and reasons why something happens in life. And when we focus singularly on one thing, like not being able to produce enough milk for a baby, right, that generates so much guilt and a lot of negative feelings during this time where we also need to take care of somebody else. So it's just not productive. It's not effective. So when we do look at the bigger pictures, is my child growing? How am I doing? Am I getting enough nutrition? Am I getting enough fluid? How's my mental health? Like all of those things will ultimately, we know from research, impact your child in the long run as they grow, older into childhood and into adulthood. And those things are all really important too.
Yeah, thank you. There's a lot of different ways to talk about this particular topic of holistic. Tamika, what is the way that you think about this, especially when you're running daycares, you're watching the environment. So I can't wait to hear what you have to say about this holistic idea.
Well, for us, I feel like um, holistic kind of involves everything, from the beginning of the day to the end of the day. And so just tying all of that, the routines, the things that they normally do, what are they watching? What are they eating? And this is not just parents, but also, as Beth said, for the children as well. If you eat healthy and you show your children how to eat healthy, then they will eat healthy. Same with exercise. And one of the reasons why I love this project is because it really does deal with all of the areas that I feel like new moms are struggling with in today's day and age, not just for themselves, but also for the children as well.
Yeah, for sure it does. Again, I don't know why the excitement is big in me about what you all are doing with your beautiful stories and your master teachings and tools. Thank you both. I mean, not just for saying yes to being here, but for taking that challenge I gave you and putting it into words in this beautiful book. It's going to be an incredible resource for people. Um, Tamika, I'm going to stick with you for this next question. A main theme in the book is that to be the best mom you can be, you really have to remember that you come first. We talk about
Mm.
this a lot. Self care after childbirth is crucial. All the stages, it's crucial, right? This is an awareness process. Feeling is healing. And if you all out there listening, if you serve others in any capacity, not even just as a parent, this idea is crucial. It's the awareness, the self care. So, Tamika, what I would love to know is what is one of your favorite ways that you practice the awareness or the self care for yourself?
Oh, that's a great question. So I take staycations. So
I love
staycations
that.
for me is finding time away from my family, building that in for myself, being a childcare business owner, a wife, a mom, a auntie, a daughter, a sister, all of the things, right? It can take a toll. And so, one of the practices I've started when, in just my personal background, I adopted my niece and nephew. So, back when they were young, my niece was 17, her son was 1 when we adopted them. When they came into our family, I needed that time of separation. And so the staycations are really helpful for me. And during the staycation, I take time to work on myself. So journaling, taking hot, hot baths. Because when you're a mom, whether you're a new mom, whether you have teenagers, you don't get that personal time. So making sure that you find that personal time, and whether it's away from the family, whether it's taking a day off while the kids are in school, husband's at work, and you just taking care of no one but yourself. That's what the staycation is all about. So you can stay or you can go, but just making sure that you take that time to take care of yourself.
Did you hear that she said long twice? I mean, long bath, y'all. Like, just let it soak for a while. I love that.
Mhm.
Beth, how about you? What's one of your favorite ways that you practice this awareness or self-care?
Yeah, so I love what Tamika just said because I am a person who just I love people, I love being around people, but I do need my downtime too. So for me, learning to advocate that I think is something that in the past few years especially was a skill I had to develop and really like learn to communicate with my husband. Like, I need you this Saturday. Please take all the kids somewhere, not just like two of them, but all of them somewhere for a couple of hours so I could get that time that wasn't during my week. That, 'cause the week I work, so it's for work and for doing other things. It's like I need a few hours on the weekends too. Um, if there I have a little one right now, he's almost one, so I love the idea of doing a staycation though when when he is less dependent on me and within the next year or so, and I could really have my husband take all of them. I think that's important. And then in terms of nutrition and physical activity, because I do a lot of nutrition counseling, during the week too, and I'm frequently reminding people of recommendations for general health. They do stick in my head. So I do try to make a point. Like, I love walking. I'm really big into gentle movement. Exercise, and we know this through research, decades of research. So we've actually been able to follow people throughout life that walking does wonders for us. It doesn't have to be high impact workout. It can be if that's your thing, but just low impact things like walking or aerobics are really effective. So I do try to walk for like 20 to 30 minutes most days of the week. That's kind of like also some of my de-stressing time. And then in terms of food, which I included in the book as part of information and a toolkit, was like how to build a balanced plate and make sure you are getting in enough nutrition. If there are times where I feel like my self-care has been running low and I'm not getting good nutrition, I do always go back to those principles of like making sure to have enough food groups with meals, and things like that. I do feel like the combination of just gentle movement and eating in a healthy, balanced way, is also an important part of my self-care.
Yeah, lovely. It's making me think of our holistic question a couple of minutes ago, just about, and honestly, wherever you're at with whatever you have, with whatever you can do that day or that moment is good enough, y'all. And so just the small things, I would get down on myself for not doing all the things or all the big
Mhm.
things, but we could just really celebrate that you got out for a walk that day or had the bath. I'm like, yay, because some days are like that. I would add journaling as one of mine. I practice awareness and do that by bringing my thoughts out of my mind and onto the paper and shifting my energy. That's an awareness practice in journaling. And the other one that I was thinking of when you were both talking is music is a fast moment for me. I'll put it on maybe while I'm cooking or while I'm doing something, but just letting the vibe fill the room and having a moment like that, right? Somebody else on the other interview said dance party, like even two
Mhm.
minutes, you know? So these are all such wonderful things. All right, ladies. So I think I want to finish up with this. Beth, I'm going to stick with you for this one. There's a lot of advice we could give people. And we have moms who are listening in. What would be the last kind of message you want to leave them with today? That thing that matters to you the most, you want them to know?
I would just say, in terms of nutrition and mothering in general, follow your gut. You do know best, and you are enough, and you're doing enough for your child. The fact that a person worries if they are being good enough, I think shows that they're loving and caring, and they are doing, the right thing. And you learn as you go. You really do.
I love that you said that. When we worry, if we're one of those people who is just reflecting, that's already telling about you that you care.
Yeah,
And so you're already a good mom, y'all. It's good, right? Yeah.
exactly.
I love it. All right, Tamika, how about you? What's that thing you want to leave us with, that message, that thing that matters to you?
I would say joy. Spark joy in your life. You know, I talk about cultivating the village, but listen, moms, dads, you are the village for your children. And if you spark joy within your life, you are sparking joy within their life. So, yes, do a dance party. Um, do a pillow fight. Whatever that brings joy to you, that warms your heart, that really um, can create smiles on all the faces, do that because that is a level of self care. I know that when the children are happy, moms are happy too. Like they are really genuinely working towards making the children happy and especially safe and all the things, but they really do want to make them happy. And so when you do things that can spark that smile, that laughter, there's nothing sweeter than a child's laughter. And so on the hardest days, tickle them, have fun with them, and just try to spark joy in your life to be able to spark joy in the kids' lives. And it will pay off so much in the long run. Even when you can't take that long hot bath, just try to remember that, like, do the things that bring you joy, and all will be well.
I love that so much. Thank you for that. And thanks for the reminder that this doesn't have to be so serious all the time. Like, we
Yeah.
need to relax, and we're so exhausted that I think we forget. Sometimes just a belly laugh, that will do it, right?
Yeah.
Tamika Robertson, Beth Conlon, to you both, thank you so much for being here and for what you do in the world. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you, Laura.
So, y'all, this is much more than a book. This is a very generous community who is there for you to answer a question today. Maybe you got curious about something we talked about. Maybe you need some support, want to know what's going on in these amazing authors' worlds. Just pop down to the show notes. I have them hooked up with their websites and their links. And there's a lot to explore. So please do that. And then you're all invited to the book launch party for Hot Mess to Hot Mom. I'm going to have some information down below. That'll be in April 5th at 11 a.m. Eastern. There's a Zoom link registration for you if you'd like to join us for that celebration. And if you happen to be listening to this interview anytime around that date, well, that just means you need to hop over to Amazon and grab your copy of this beautiful book, Hot Mess to Hot Mom. Lastly, today, everyone, remember your words change the world when you're brave enough to share them. So it's time to be brave. See you next time, everyone.